à tous et à toutes et bienvenue sur Narlex in Game. On continue l'histoire sur Thronebreaker et nous partons à Macam. Par contre, on va faire un petit détour par cet endroit. Alors, il y a tout ça à récupérer, 2 casse-têtes, bien sûr les casse-têtes. Lorsque la vidéo va sortir, je vais probablement les avoir déjà fait. Un peu de boulot après. Voilà, je récupère au moins ce qu'il me faut. Pas mal de bois, parce que je suis qu'à 1300 en bois et j'ai des améliorations à faire dans l'atelier. Ouais, 1421, ça commence bien. En niveau or, je suis pas mal. Si je peux acheter du bois auprès d'un marchand, ça peut être aussi pas mal, très intéressant. Bon allez, on va quitter cet endroit. Et on va avancer. Qu'est-ce que tu me veux, toi? Alors, un voyant humain nous propose d'acheter une carte au trésor. Il dit l'avoir cherché, mais le blizzard l'a surpris, nous sommes plus aventureux. Ouais, moi je le paye, j'ai assez de sous, je suis sympa. Alors, une maison, une mine. C'est pas là-bas. Non. Non, c'est pas ici. Bon, on verra plus tard. Une maison, donc il y a une mine, une maison au-dessus, et au milieu des rails qui sont coupés. Bon. Je vais passer par le dessous. Je sais pas, où est-ce que je vais par là? Je connais la map. Ah si, je crois que je peux faire le tour avant de remonter. Ouais, très intéressant. Alors, qu'est-ce qui se passe ici? Une bonne taverne? Je veux bien une bonne
Meave
bière.
noted a crowd of dwarves. They were several dozen, many holding baskets brimming with dried sausages, soft, puffy pretzels, and jugs of frothy beer.
What is this gathering?
She asked Gabor.
These folk, they're the parents of youngsters who are to return today from their Dreckthag.
Gabor proceeded to explain that the Dreckthag was a trek upon which the local dwarves would embark when they reached maturity. During this year-long voyage, young folk would taste of life beyond their home. Yet if they failed to return on time, they would be stripped of all rights and privileges accorded to Mahakam's natives.
See, in recent years, young folks' blood's been boiling on account of the strict laws in force here.
Gabor added.
So, we send them out. Let them taste life in the lowlands. Once they've learned for themselves what it's like to live among humans, they come back and ain't likely to complain.
Je sais pas s'ils vont revenir en fait.
Customarily, only a few dwarves ever decided to remain in the valleys for good. That year, however, was different.
Deadline's the Mora, and 40 Dreckthagers still haven't returned.
Their parents now worried if some misfortune had not befallen them. The Mahakaman Guard had sent out patrols to the near reaches of the valleys. They returned not having seen anything distressing, while the humans living at the foot of the massif had been largely unwilling to talk. The guard captain, a dwarf with a fiery red beard, removed his helmet, wiped the sweat from his brow, and addressed Meave.
Your Majesty, we need to find our youth. Perhaps you'd be willing to go out and search. Human folk are more like to tell you if they saw anything out of the ordinary of late. Naturally, there'd be something in it for you too.
One could say I myself have lost a son,
Meave gripped the captain's hand firmly.
and I know well the pain that comes. I shall do all in my might to spare you at least that.
Meave set off, the hopeful gazes of the dwarven parents bidding her farewell. The queen sent a scout ahead. Sometime later, she heard his horn. 3 blasts, 2 short, 1 long.
Mauvais.
An ambush!
Meave expected to combat beasts or robbers. Yet upon her force descended warriors with squirrel tails attached to their helms.
Putain.
Scoia tail.
C'est satané Scoia. Bon bah je crois qu'on va encore en brûler quelques-uns. Une bataille standard en plus. 2 manches. Bon plaisir. Alors. Ça je vire, ça c'est très bien. Bah, je dirais ça. Ça, je suis pas très fan de cette carte.
Scoia, tell! Don't let them escape!
Bon, je... Ah non, il commence.
Only death here for one.
Oh non. Est-ce que je fais passer ou pas? Ouais, je suis un fou.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Got a hearty hankering for Gwent.
The Scoia tell her a plague. They blight all they
Allez,
touch.
je vais tout brûler, moi.
Catch!
Le feu et le froid.
Hi-ho! Hi-ho!
Ouais, ils vont être assez casse-couilles, je pense. C'est...
Ow!
Allez, rebalance-moi, comme ça je descends les 3. Avec mes frondeurs. Peut-être que j'appuie sur passer le tour, ça peut être pas mal. Faut que je joue que sur une ligne là. Alors... Passer. Merde.
Bigger they are, easier they are to tap.
Et voilà. Match nul. Bon. Bah au moins il y a un match nul. Oh putain, en plus ils sont... Non. Ça va être dur et chiant.
Go, pop, pop!
Oh my.
Soigne en plus. Bon, il a rien à soigner normalement. Bon. Là, 25, donc moi aussi j'ai du soin.
Left, right, left, right.
Bah j'ai plus de feu.
Now we will see who is weak!
Aïe. Salaud.
Have her done in a jiffy.
C'est quoi 3 points.
Give me a time.
Tendu, tendu.
I shall not fail!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Voilà, là déjà c'est pas mal, 21, j'ai augmenté, j'ai bien descendu même si il va sûrement heal.
None shall tread on us!
Dans tous les cas, voilà, ça c'était sûr. Faudrait que j'arrive à le destroy, mais j'ai aucune carte qui va me permettre de le faire. À moins que... Oh, le gratin, qu'est-ce que j'ai? Ah, du feu. Voilà, donc ça c'est un très bon coup.
Ah, they used to tire my tongue about that.
Mercenaire nain. Avec des scoia'tels. Ah bah ça doit être les jeunes. Bon, 62 à 38, c'est vraiment pas terrible.
It's not too late to walk away.
Elven blarney.
Pas cool. Bon, 64 à 110, je suis très bien remonté. Peut-être pas assez.
Now we must stick together.
Voilà, déjà j'ai bien 2 tours. 2 tours, je pourrais pas retaper. Par contre, ils sont en train de perdre continuellement de la vie sans pouvoir en...
Everything all right?
C'est une bonne chose. Ça, c'est un assassin. C'est pas grave.
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
Bon, 141 à 60, sachant qu'il va tirer 6.
Scoia, attack!
Carrément. Ça va faire mal.
Well, if anyone's got any hoots left.
Mais c'est bon.
They're so young. No wonder they were easily manipulated.
As soon as the battle had come to an end, the prisoners were brought before the Queen. All, without exception, were dwarves, and all looked to be youthful dwarves.
Mystery solved.
Muttered Meve. In fact, these were the missing Drechthaggers. Instead of returning home, they had enlisted with guerrillas fighting for non-human rights. But what had prompted so drastic a decision?
I was impatient. Wanted badly to turn 50. I couldn't wait to see human cities. Vitsima, Tretogor, Novigrad.
Said one of the dwarven prisoners while pressing a bandage to a bleeding wound.
And you know the welcome that awaited me there. I was spit upon and called names. I saw ghettos, massacres. And how was I to go back to the mines after that? We must fight while we still can. Before the humans come to cut us down, we must tell the rest of ours the same. Pull all Mahakam into the fight.
Meve's soldiers stood waiting for her to protest, to accuse the dwarf of lying. But the Queen could not pretend she did not understand why the dwarf had taken up arms. Without entering into a discussion, she ordered the prisoners taken to be tried and judged by their kin and elders. Along her way, Meve heard cries. She rushed to see what the ruckus was about. Upon seeing Black Rayla spattered with blood, she expected the worst.
No.
Reynard could only confirm the Queen's fears.
She entered the wagon unnoticed. The wagon carrying the prisoners. She then cut their throats, one by one.
40 dwarves. Alone?
They were shackled. They could not defend themselves.
Rayla had nothing to say in her defense. In point of fact, she exuded pride.
Mahakam had been free of Scoia till now. We'd have done all a questionable favour by bringing back a wagon full of enraged youth wearing squirrel tails. They'd have posed as martyrs for a just cause. They'd have shown off their scars and persuaded the clans to make war on humans. All that deserved to be nipped in the bud.
Meve could see the blood rushing to Reynard's head. When he finally spoke, it was clear he was holding the reins of his emotions, preventing himself from exploding with some difficulty.
Your Grace, we must banish her, drive her off. This was in no way ordinary insubordination. This was a grave crime.
Your Majesty, you know I rarely meddle in your affairs.
Said Isbel.
Yet for this, I cannot remain silent. This woman must go.
Rayla, 'tis a fine line that separates a soldier, a warrior, from one who commits murder.
Said Meve.
That line you crossed today. You are to leave my ranks immediately. And never do I wish to see you again.
Rayla said nothing. She merely bowed in an excessively courtly manner, then moved off down the slope. Yet even once she disappeared, a clear red trail remained in the snow where she had passed. A trail of dwarven blood that had dripped from her armor. The Lyrians remained silent throughout their return. Upon spying their downcast eyes and somber means, the dwarves awaiting the return of their offspring dispersed to their homes, leaving baskets full of treats in the snow.
Ah ouais, non mais là je suis choqué.
Didn't he find nothing? Not a trace. What could have happened?
Je suis fou, ouais. Je sais pas quoi dire là. Ah putain. Voilà, j'augmente un peu. J'ai même plus les mots là du massacre qu'il y a eu. Hein. Vraiment pas. Bon, moi j'ai un point d'intérêt là. Ouais, la quête elle est très très loin. Hein. Encore le temps. On colle le temps.
The Queen noted a building with unusually lavish ornamentation, including shining bronze roof tiles and glistening rock crystal window panes. An important clan dwelled there, Gabor explained. The Breckenrigs.
Could you introduce me?
Meve asked.
Perhaps I can convince them to intercede with Bruver on my behalf.
Ça doit être des marchands, ça.
The clan head, Iva, invited Meve to an exquisite feast. But when she broached the subject of the war raging just outside Mahakam's borders, the dwarf changed the subject at once. Looking around the interior, Meve quickly understood why. The walls were ordained with Nilfgaardian tapestries and rugs. Gifts from friendly Imperial envoys, no doubt. Meve prepared to leave, convinced she had wasted her time, when someone clasped her shoulder and pulled her into a darkened room. Her kidnapper turned out to be a young dwarf, female, it seemed, dressed in her nightshirt. She introduced herself as Iva's daughter, Eudora Breckenrigs, and openly admitted she had eavesdropped on Meve's dinner conversation.
Listen, me dad's stubborner than an old goat, but I'll convince him to help ye. For a wee favour, that is.
What?
I want you to steal something from the clan archive. Historiae Mahakamorum, 'tis called. See, me dad won't let me betroth me sweetikin Zoltan. Says the codex forbids marrying a dwarf who's left the mountains. But there's precedent. Just such a case described in that document.
40.
If I can show it to Da, he'll have to change his mind.
Meve felt sympathy for Eudora and wanted to help her, especially considering the favor Eudora could do her in return. But she fully realized if her attempt to break into the archive ended badly, it would result in a tremendous scandal Bruver Hoog would not soon forget.
The pot's worth the play, I believe. Fine. I accept your offer.
They then shook hands, sealing the deal. Meve had to bite her tongue to stop from crying out, for the young she-dwarf had the grip of a brawny blacksmith. Meve returned to her company, and, massaging her sore hand, presented Eudora's offer. Gascon volunteered for the task at once.
Thievery's my forte. The dwarves won't notice a single mothball out of place.
Gascon snuck into the archive under the cover of darkness. Just as he was tucking Eudora's desired document into his cloak, he heard dwarven boots clanking down the stairs.
Damn it!
Gascon swore.
I can't let them catch me.
Oh merde, qu'est-ce que ça va, qu'est-ce qui va? Alors, casse-tête, déchasse un casse-tête, archives de Macaham, afin de vous échapper des placés Gascon pas léger jusqu'au coin inférieur 3 du champ de bataille. Bah je vais attendre qu'ils avancent. Voilà. Ensuite, je vais déplacer Je vais détourner.
Who's there?
What a knob. That was close.
Je vais tout de suite tourner celui-là. Non, je vais m'avancer.
Piece of cake.
Ha! Ha!
Just a
Je vais le
bit
retrouver.
more.
Voilà. Et je vais avancer derrière son dos. C'est bon. Eh, c'est chaud quand même. Bon, j'ai bien peu de temps avant de réussir. Oh la vache.
Luckily, Gascon managed to do the deed quietly, so the dwarves never found out who had broken in. As agreed, Meve handed Eudora the stolen document.
Ha!
The dwarf shouted, raising the parchment in a triumphant gesture.
Da can't do nothing to stop her making vows now. I've got to write Zoltan right quick. Thanks. Thanks a million times over.
Pas de problème.
And Eudora did her part too. Soon after, the Queen learned there'd been a gathering of the clans, and Ivor had indeed spoken on her behalf. She could only hope the elder Breckenriggs had swayed Bruva Hoog as well.
Bon, c'est bien. J'ai les marchands dans ma poche. Et je vais m'acheter, comme convenu, du bois. Bon, qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre?
You can count on us, Queenie. Ivor will be a wall at your back. Stout.
Bon, bah c'est bien.
Ah, you thundering dope!
Qu'est-ce
I
qui s'est
told
passé?
you to hold your horses or you'll shake the hitch loose.
Oh, now you're a bleeding expert, are you? You overloaded the damn cart, that's why it's busted.
A wagon lay strewn across the middle of the road. Behind it stood others, some loaded with gold, jewels, and other valuables, others groaning under barrels of pickled meat. Each dwarf had his own theory about how the accident had come about, and thundered it out to all and sundry, peppered with choice invectives.
An odd caravan.
Meve said.
They don't look like merchants.
Nay, they ain't.
Gabor answered.
Dwarves of the Ferens clan, carrying gifts for the Drake. Remember Keltilis? When he took roost here, Ferences fought him for near a century. Then the dragon got weary of fighting and they realised he weren't going nowheres, so they cut a deal. He didn't bother them. They give him what he needs.
Well, well. And these offerings they send often?
Every week. Excuse me, got to separate them lads, or they tear out each other's beards. Hi there! Cool your idiot heads!
Gabor managed to douse his brethren's fiery tempers, but the wagon still lay across the road, blocking all traffic.
Queen,
said Xavier.
It is an easy repair. I've the tools, the parts. Need but your permission.
Of course. Go see what can be done.
Xavier did indeed make quick work of the problem. Within moments, the wagon was rolling smoothly down the road, good as new.
Well, shaft me, your highness,
said one of the dwarves.
Your engineer's got a pate like stewed meat, but he kens his trade, that's for certain.
I'll convey your words to him. Or at least part of them.
Me and the lads will be on our way now, but first, take this. Bit of gold by way of thanks.
Ah, sympa. Mais
I appreciate the offer, but I cannot accept coin for helping a traveller in need. Common decency it is.
Huh? In our times, decency ain't common at all, but as you wish. Farewell.
The dwarf bowed in parting, shook the snow off his beard, then rejoined his caravan. Within a few moments, the wagons had disappeared around the bend.
Ouais. Bon bah voilà, un peu d'honneur. Faudrait quand même montrer un peu de bonté à ces vieux nains, si on veut les avoir dans la poche. Même si on connaît quelqu'un qui a massacré les jeunes. Madame, cette forge appartient à un Narlex célèbre dénommé Nikosca. De toute vie, je n'avais jamais vu de maille de cuir clouté de si grande qualité. Il est prêt à vendre, mais il ne veut pas d'argent. Et il croule déjà dessous, il préfère de la main d'œuvre formée au travail à la forge. Allez. Toute aide est la bienvenue, bien sûr.
A pillar of smoke rose above the mountains, and a sooty aroma filled the air.
Fire!
Gabor said, then took a deep sniff.
Perhaps a bolt struck some barren trees?
No.
Meave said curtly.
I know that scent too well. All Edirn reeked of it. It's the smell of burning homes.
The Lyrians quickened their gait. Soon they saw a town fully aflame, and a roaring, furious dragon above it.
That's your Keltimus?
Gascon asked, shielding his eyes from the sharp glare emanating from the city.
You were right. Perfectly harmless.
Dinna ken what's got his knickers in a bunch,
the dwarf said, grabbing his axe from his belt.
Queen, we got to make haste to the rescue.
Reynard!
Meave called out.
Have our men wet their cloaks for a modicum of fire protection. We move as soon as they're done.
Your Grace, they are but common soldiers. To fight a dragon.
I know, but we must help them, or at least try.
Bah ouais.
While Reynard went to pass on the order, Meave turned to Gabor.
This dragon, has it any weakness?
Fear not,
said the somber dwarf.
except a fondness for raw meat.
Meave nodded and swallowed dryly. Despite the cold, she felt sweat pour down her scalp. Stifling her fear, Meave gave the order to attack, and her soldiers rode into the flaming city. From up close, Keltimus looked even more terrifying. Though enormous, he moved with shocking agility, like a lizard scurrying over sand. With one swing of his paw, he snapped the necks of 3 dwarves, then bisected a 4th with a powerful bite. After that, he turned his attention to the Lyrians.
More of you!
He said, twisting his bloody maw into a horrifying smile.
God!
Ok, il parle en plus. Un dragon qui parle. Bon, éliminer Keltimus, 60. Règle spéciale, bataille portée, donc j'ai qu'une qu'un rune. On va voir ce que ça va donner. Ah. Bon, je pense que j'ai de bonnes cartes. 60.
Stay together.
Bon, au début de chaque tour, générer feu de côté ennemi après 3 tours au début du tour. Déplacer la présente carte du côté ennemi. Infliger un point de dégâts à toutes les unités. Ça craint pour moi, ça.
We got a job to do.
You haven't killed the dragon. It has to be possible.
Bon.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Ça a pas marché. J'en étais sûr.
Ah, shite! He's raging now! Watch out!
Tous à l'abri! Pas de ma barbe!
My
Nous allons
spirit's
tous
willing and
cramer.
how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Your Grace, we're taking losses!
Ouais, bah oui, c'est bien, mais ouais, ah ouais. Ça j'ai vu, hein. Bon, et ben là, on va devoir l'exploser en 1000 morceaux.
All right, that's no problem.
Je vais le faire reculer. Ah, je peux même pas le faire reculer.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Your Grace, he's vulnerable. We must strike now.
Bon. Ouais, d'accord, mais
I smell a leak.
je sais pas si ça va servir à grand chose.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
My scars? No, they don't hurt.
Our ballista is your command.
Mais pas assez.
Ya, ya!
Je tape, hein.
Make love, not war.
C'est tout ce que je peux faire. Alors, hop, ça j'enlève, ça j'enlève, ça j'enlève.
Behind me!
Fais chier, j'ai pas de
Stay
bonne carte.
together!
Ça me sert à rien, ça c'est... Oh là 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 là.
Catch!
Ça va être tendu, tendu, hein. Vas-y, frappe-moi, je te dirai rien.
It has to be possible.
Voilà, déjà.
Left, right, left, right.
Ah, shite! He's raging now! Watch out!
Ya, ya! Your Grace, we're taking losses.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Ça me sert à rien, ça me fait chier. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. 30, 30, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You sure about that?
Ça fait chier. Clairement. Parce que là c'est bien, je vais faire ça.
That
Mais,
bit the white of an
ça
eye
va
from
rien me
our
rapporter,
bully
en
away.
fait. Sachant que cette carte là me sert à rien.
Your Grace, he's vulnerable. We must strike now.
Ça peut être sympa ça.
Give me a time.
Moins 8. putain!
I'd hoped we could solve this some other way.
Oh bah je l'ai eu! Oh là là, il est gros cul de cul. Enfin, je sais même plus parler là. Ah, j'ai
That
vraiment de la
day,
chance.
many Lyrians perished, either to the dragon's all-consuming fire or to its flesh-rending claws. Yet their sacrifice was not in vain. Together with the dwarves, they were able to grievously wound Celtulis, forcing him to flee. The howls of the wounded monster rang throughout the valley.
That's right, howl, you scurvy snake! Shouldn't they ever attacked us, eh? Damn fuel lizard!
Meave, that's Vavrenik, elder of the town and all the Ferences.
My regards and condolences.
Eh, tain't so bad. If nae for ye, wouldn't there be a stone left unrubbled? To be honest, when I caught wind some human queen come to Mahakam looking for aid, I said a crocus would sprout twixt my cheeks afore I put eye on that. Gonna be a fear to look in my breeches after, but changed my mind. After what I saw today, what ye did for us, you've the support and undying gratitude of all Ferences.
Thank you.
Enfin, c'est cool.
Faced with a
Mais
Nilfgaardian peril, that means a great deal.
Forgive me for interrupting this tear-tugging scene of interracial reconciliation, but I can't hold back no longer. Vavrenik! Double shice! What happened? Why'd Celtulis attack?
I ken as much as ye, meaning squat diddly. Just flew up, started spewing flames, half the town lit up in a flash.
Sheep shank! 300 years I've been a good neighbour.
What's done's done. Gotta think about the future. The Drake's just taking a breather. Gotta finish him off for he's regained form.
Meaning we haven't much time. He heals like an alchemist's pup. And the nearest guards are miles away.
non, mais
He'll be up flying again before they get here.
Aye, that's what I thought. Perhaps, your grace, you'd...
What? Jest you must.
I ken you're tired through the fight, dinna want to risk casualties, etc. But remember, the beast's sleeping on a bed of gold and rubies.
Ah, ok, je suis là.
All belonging by right to Brother, of course. But if quibbling some wandered off, he'd nae notice.
I admit that does alter my calculations. Besides, the dragon was badly wounded.
Putting it featherly, blood poured out of him like a leaky bladder. Just needs a coup de grace.
Fine. I'll do the deed.
Ken you'd see the light.
Oi, Vavrenik, Vavrenik. This lady's gonna make your rump a regular crocus garden.
Aye, Queen's doing us a great service. One that'll profit us both.
So, where is Celtulis's lair?
North through here. It's a vast cavern. Ye
Ah bah
canna
voilà, au
miss
nord,
it.
c'est ça.
Meve bid farewell to Vavrenek and set out on her way. Did her way lead to the dragon's lair, you ask?
Combien j'ai perdu, troupe? C'est bon, ça a l'air d'être... ok. Bon bah allez, mais on va s'arrêter là, parce que je pense que déjà, il y a quelques minutes qui sont passées en plus. N'oubliez pas de mettre un j'aime et de vous abonner pour continuer à suivre cette magnifique série. Allez, on se dit à la prochaine. Bye bye.